I'm with Claire, and we're cooking with mushrooms. What are we making this time, Claire?
We're going to make a fresh mushroom squash bisque.
Bisque.
Yeah, so a really seasonable recipe with squash in it and mushrooms. And
what's the difference between a soup and a bisque?
Bisque is just a little thicker,
is that
more hearty. Yeah. So in here I have some carrots and onions that I've already sautéed.
Okay.
And to that I'm going to add the mushrooms, and I've got some regular. Oh, sorry, no, I've got some cremini mushrooms and some shiitake mushrooms here. Right. I find the shiitake mushrooms really help add to the flavor to it. Very popular and very delicious.
Yeah.
And we talked about all the different types of mushrooms in the last segment.
Right.
And this is a quick, easy recipe. And I find, I don't know, I'm trying to get a meal on the table when I get home from work for my kids, and I want it to be nourishing and good. And mushrooms really fit the bill for that because you can cook them quickly, and there's lots of nutrition in them. We talked about the nutrition in the last segment.
Exactly.
And delicious, too. So we're just going to saute that up for a bit.
Okay.
So you'd saute that maybe for about 10 minutes till the mushrooms, all the liquid comes out of the mushrooms.
For television purposes, we'll go quicker.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
And I'm going to add some acorn squash. And I've already cooked the squash, so I just cooked it in the microwave beforehand. And again, just stir that all in together. And then just add some stock. So I'm using some chicken stock here. And then you would just simmer that probably for about 15 minutes till the squash cooks down.
What I've found out is bisque and soups and stuff like that, really not that difficult to accomplish.
Not at all. You can see how quickly I've thrown this together.
Right, and then you just let it sit for a while, right?
Yeah. And then what I've done here is already pureed this. So I've taken a hand blender to it, or you could put it in a food processor or a blender and just puree it like that.
So once you get this going and leave it on simmer for a while, right? How long would you leave it there?
About 10, 15 minutes.
That's it, eh?
Yeah, and then puree it.
Till things soften up, and then you puree.
Exactly. And to that I'm going to add some cream.
Right.
Now you could add milk if you want a little lower fat.
Is this where we
get
biscuity rather than soupy?
Most definitely. Very bisky. Yeah, so as you can see, it's
thickening up.
Yeah, it's thickening up. It's delicious. It's creamy. And this recipe is on our website, which is mushrooms.ca, along with a lot of other great soup recipes for the fall, too.
Right.
So that's all heated up.
This is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Wait till you taste it.
Yeah.
So we'll spoon that into a bowl.
Okay.
And there's one more thing we're going to put in there just to, again, to add a little more flavor to it. I'm going to put a little bit of sour cream or yogurt on the top.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that really adds to that flavor. So lots of nutrition in here. We talked earlier about the cancer-fighting properties.
Yeah, what do we know about that?
In mushrooms. Here I'm just showing you what the amount of mushrooms you should have a day.
These are button mushrooms?
Button mushrooms or any kind of mushrooms. 3 or 4 mushrooms a day will help with cancer-fighting, breast cancer
what do they do?
in particular. They have a chemical in them that helps fight tumors. So, yeah.
Just from mushrooms?
Just from the mushrooms.
It's funny how all these things that are fighting cancer and fighting disease are from the earth itself.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's fresh and natural. And the thing about mushrooms, too, is they're available 365 days a year. They are a local food.
Yes.
So a lot of people are trying to eat locally. And
do they grow them indoors in the winter?
Always indoors all year round. So they're always available and they're always in season.
You don't grow them outside?
No, they're always grown indoors. So that's why they are available.
So in greenhouses and like?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And they're just grown on a peat moss substrate.
Do we make a lot of mushrooms, when it comes to produce in this country? Is it way up there?
We do, yeah. We have lots of mushrooms and lots of varieties, too. We talked about those in the other segment. So, yeah, lots of mushrooms and lots of varieties, and you can get them.
These are actually mushrooms.
Those are enoki mushrooms.
Enoki?
Yeah. So those have a little bit of crispness, almost like a bean sprout.
Right.
And they're great in scrambled eggs or on an Asian kind of soup or something like that.
I'm a big fan of the good old button.
You are, yeah.
Like on a steak or something like that.
Oh, delicious,
That's the best.
The simple sautéed mushroom on the steak, sautéed
All right,
up.
I want to try the soup now.
Okay, great.
I like this mushroom idea. There's nothing better than mushroom soup either.
When the squash in it really makes a great flavor too.
Oh yeah. That is so full of flavor.
Yeah, and so easy.
Just like that. Claire, thank you very much. Where do we find out more about mushrooms, by the way?
Mushrooms.ca for the recipes, mushroomsgopink.ca for the breast cancer campaign.
Mushrooms.ca. It can't get any more simple than that. Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
Pleasure. There you go. All right, we've got more fashions coming up for you. I like that idea. Cool stuff for the fellas, 9:38. We'll be right back.